towards one of your free EAP sessions, which leads me into this next benefit, the counseling benefit. So you're going to have 8 free counseling sessions available. We can match you with providers based on a lot of different criteria. For example, if you want the counselor to maybe be a certain age range, ethnicity, speak a certain language, things like that, we can match you with counselors based on all of that. And if for any reason you get matched to a counselor and it just doesn't feel like a great fit, definitely let us know and we'll get you referred to another provider. It's really important with anyone, but especially something like counseling, that it does feel like a safe, comfortable fit between you and the member.
Kelsey, can I pop in really quick with a question? You mentioned, and the slide says 8 sessions, but it says per incident. So could you explain what that means?
Yes, thank you. So it is 8 sessions per incident. So if you've utilized your 8 sessions and, maybe 6 months from now, something else pops up, absolutely reach out to us and our intake team can help determine if it qualifies as a new incident or not. One other thing too, is we can also match you with counselors that accept your medical insurance. So that way you would have coverage with that same counselor beyond those 8 free EAP sessions. Moving down to coaching. So in addition to the 8 free counseling sessions, you also have 8 free coaching sessions. And this is also per incident. Coaching and counseling are slightly different. In general, counseling is going to be more emotions-based, anxiety, depression, marital, things like that, where coaching is much more goal-oriented. So especially, with the new year coming up, maybe it's a nice time to kind of reflect. Maybe you have some goals in mind that you want to work towards. Reach out to us and we can get you connected with a coach for those 8 free sessions. Next one is virtual peer support. Peer support is very powerful. You have virtual peer support available through Canopy 24/7, 365. And there's a couple ways you can interact with this benefit depending on what type of support you're maybe needing that day. If you want to chat with peers sharing similar concerns, you can do that in a space that's professionally moderated. Or if you want to just browse content and resources based on whatever it is you may be struggling with, you can do that as well. Over on the right column here,
Kelsey, let me point out a couple of things on the mental health side. So the phone number, it's picked up 24/7. It's a live answer and it's a mental health professional that is answering the phone, and they can provide in the moment phone support. So there's not a phone tree, anything like that. You always get a live person, and it's a mental health professional. And then on the counseling side, something that's different than other EAPs is that we don't give a list of providers. We actually match the individual to a single provider and provide that referral to the provider and to the member, and follow up if we don't see in our system an appointment scheduled after 2 days with the provider. And then if we still don't see an appointment scheduled after 3 days, we also start following up with the member. So it's a very high touch kind of a service. We want to make sure people connect. So just wanted to point out those things. Thanks. Go ahead, Kelsey.
Yeah. So just then moving over to the right column, the resources for life. Quite a few things under here. We certainly are available for crisis support. And we also have a lot of holistic wellness benefits that you have available that you can just access anytime, as well as your family members. So resources for life, going down the list, childcare and adult care. We can help you find resources in your community for things like that. You would reach out to us. We'd gather information about the type of resource you're looking for, and then our research team provides you with several options. It's the way I like to explain it is it's essentially us doing the busy work for you of searching for different resources in your area. Unlimited financial coaching. This is really great benefit. It used to be 30 consecutive days, and now it really is unlimited financial coaching. So that's also available. Couple different things for your legal benefit. We have tons of different tools, kind of DIY tools and articles available on our member site and app for legal. And then you also have access to a free 30-minute legal consult on up to 3 different topics per year. If you do need to hire an attorney, it's a 25% discount thereafter. So after that free 30-minute consult. Identity theft services, a couple things under here as well. We have a free ID breach scan available on our member site and app where you go in, enter your email address, and it will populate a report if your email's been correlated with something that you might not be aware of. And at the same time, if you know that you've actively gotten your identity breached, reach out to us. We have fraud resolution specialists that can help you resolve that identity breach, as well as give you some preventative tips to make sure that it doesn't happen again in the future. Fertility, health, and family building support. Home ownership program. So the home ownership program is going to be for people wanting to buy, sell, or refinance a home. Average savings out of pocket for people that utilize that is $2,000 to $6,000 just by going through Canopy's home ownership program. And I really like to mention that maybe you're not in a situation to buy or sell. Maybe you or your family member needs immediate short-term housing, or you want to move into a different rental, something like that. That's another thing where you can reach out to us. We'll gather information about what you're looking for and can provide you with some options. Also, wellness and pet insurance discounts. Those are both going to be accessed through our Canopy EAP app or our member site. And Umberto in a couple slides is actually going to show you all the member sites. So I won't go into much more detail about that because he'll I think, show you and kind of give you a little bit more insight. We touched on this a little bit in the last slide. So just as a reminder, if you do decide to reach out to us via calling, you're going to reach a live person in about 10 seconds. Of course, you can also email us, text us, request services through our app or our member site. And then these bottom boxes, the 1 to 2 and the 5 to 7. So the 5 to 7 is for counseling. Like Umberto mentioned, we send the referral to the counselor for you, and we have a team that tracks on that counseling referral until your first appointment is scheduled. So right now, we're still averaging 5 to 7 business days for a first appointment for counseling, which is amazing. You also have that crisis support 24/7. And then for coaching, we can get you scheduled in as quickly as 1 to 2 days.
Great, thanks, Kelsey. So with the member site, so you go to my.canopywell.com and you don't actually put your entity name, your district name or whatnot, it's OEBB. So for all OEBB entities, OEBB is the organization name. So when you go to the registration page, there's a field and you start typing OE and a drop down will show up. So let me actually show you the website real quick. So here's the website. This top banner changes every month, a different topic. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble with my cursor here. Okay, at the top is peer support. So if you wanted to go to that peer support that Kelsey talked about, you can click on that and you can go in and peruse different chats that are going on and then choose to participate if you'd like to. This site also, you can translate it into over 150 different languages up here through Google Translate. It's organized in showing you what your EAP benefits are, right? So coaching, counseling, elder care. Some of these things you can start to, or services you can start to self-refer or look at providers. So like on counseling, you can actually look at providers and self-refer to a provider. You can also self-refer to financial coaching and to legal support. And then we have a whole section on webinars. These are recorded webinars, and then trainings, lots of wellness topics, communication, some other like professional development topics as well. And then I won't go into this resource center. We're building this out where we curate resources around particular topics, like we've had a lot around burnout, just various topics, and our clinicians put together anywhere from 3 to 8 resources from all the resources that are on the site and put them into a resource center. There's over 20,000 resources on this site. And then there is also organizational support. So managers, supervisors can look at micro trainings that we've put together. They can see, different resources that are for leaders. And then we also have a link back to the OEBB Wellness site. So if you click on this OEB Wellness, it'll take you to the OEB Wellness site. So just wanted to show that to you real quick. It's easy, it's fast to get into. I often use this search function, by the way, this up here in this question mark, and I'll just type, whatever the topic is, stress management, and it'll show you all the resources, and you actually can filter by type of resource. So, any questions before we move on here? No? Okay. Sorry. So we do have an app. You just go out to Google Play or the App Store and type in Canopy EAP, and you can download that app for free. That way you have information about the services available and a connection to us right in your pocket, basically. We do have lots of promotional materials. So we have been communicating with our main contacts at all the entities about promotional materials. We have a service summary, but we also have these posters, we have wallet cards, all sorts of different things. So there is an online form, put the URL there, or you can just contact Kelsey or me and we'll put the order in for you. Be happy to send you hard copy materials. And then in the future, if you have questions, you can call our call center or you can send an email to info@canopywell.com, but we also put our contact information there. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have. So with that, I'm wondering, are there any questions right now, or Teresa, anything else to add?
I just put something in the chat. You had mentioned that the promotional materials are posters and cards and different ways to talk to mention that Canopy is available and how folks can get a hold of them. You had mentioned that your main entity contacts are the folks that you are involved with in those with those materials. And I just wanted to let folks know that they are probably your HR folks or your benefit folks, either at the school level or at the district level. So if you have not received any of these materials in your building or you haven't seen them in the break rooms, contact your benefits folks. And if they don't have them yet, then this is the information right in front of you that you can use to get a hold of Umberto or Kelsey to order those. Rachel just put in the chat, will these slides be shared? Yes, absolutely, they will be shared. As a matter of fact, that kind of leads into the next issue, Umberto, which is that these slides were designed as a something that the wellness champions can use at their building.
Yeah, you could use those, and I'm going to show you another one, another deck. Teresa, you have that as well, right? So
I do.
You can share it. So why don't I go ahead and share that? Unless are there any other questions? I know we're kind of limited on time.
Don't see any hands up or anything in the chat right now, but I'm keeping an eye on it.
Okay, great, thank you. Actually, let me stop sharing. Like I said, I'm in a different space, so I'm just getting used to. Okay, looks like I can share that. So do you see? Oops, got to go over here. Sorry. Objectives of this training. Do you see that?
I do see that. We also see all of the slides in the deck on the side there. So I don't know if you're...
So this is the view I wanted to show you. Yeah.
Okay.
So this one I didn't want to show you in presentation view. This deck I wanted to show you in kind of, I don't know, what do you call this sort? Where you can see the speaker notes, basically. So we actually had originally put together this deck for PEB, where PEB had asked, can you put together a deck that's not very big, so not a lot of visuals or anything like that, so not a lot of megabytes, so we can email it, and can you put detailed speaker notes that anyone could take and read as a script. So there's a few slides in here that are just talk about the objectives of this training, that it's to get the word out. It's also to talk about some services that are not as well known about what the EAP can do for people. So I'll show you that in just a moment. But I wanted you to see there's like detailed speaker notes. You could take this, make it your own. If you wanted Kelsey or me to do a presentation for a group, we could do it, and then you could take it from there. but it's, like I said, it's not a lot of graphics or anything like that. It's a lot of text, but it does provide, a lot of information. So this basic needs is something that we added to our normal, our usual deck to talk about kind of addressing social determinants of health. So things like food support, transportation, housing, etc. And we actually pulled some examples from folks that we've helped, and I'll show you here. There's like 8 examples. So things like example 1 is a member called requesting a resource retrieval, which is one of our services where we gather information on organizations that can provide the kind of service that the member needs. He was living in his car with his toddler and needed urgent housing resources. So the Canopy response was, Canopy provided him with housing resources suitable for him and his toddler and financial assistance options. Due to the urgency of the situation, resources were delivered within 3 hours of his call. So that's something that's not necessarily thought of as far as what the EAP can do to help members, but we wanted to get the word out that this is something that you can do. And we have 7 other examples in here. So if you think this would be useful, please, use it. If you have questions, let me know, contact me. Teresa, I'm not sure, will you post it or send it, or I forget, you were going to put it on a page maybe.
Yeah, we along with the recording of this meeting, the materials that were presented are going to go on the OEB Wellness Champion page at the OEB website, wellness website, so folks can pull these and use them. So just to clarify, the first deck with lots of graphics that Kelsey and Umberto presented was kind of that 101 orientation to Canopy. This deck was created for PEB, but because PEB has the same EAP, Canopy, but members wanted to be able to take information about Canopy and talk to their wellness committee, for example, or they wanted to talk about it at a staff meeting. So this deck was created with more information than graphics and some real examples that people and talking points that people could use so that they don't have to kind of make it up themselves. And if someone is not super comfortable getting up in front of a group or presenting these slides, Kelsey and Umberto are available to help you do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So want to let you know that's available. Any questions about that or comments or anything? No?
Some of the
Okay.
examples I wanted to mention, Umberto, that you list there are pretty serious situations for folks and kind of emergencies. But the EAP is also available to help with things that aren't necessarily so serious or of an emergency nature. For example, I need a new roof. I don't even know where to start with looking at contractors. EAP can help with that. You go to their resource retrieval, you can put in your location, you can put in the other specifications that you have, and they will pull up a list of licensed, bonded, insured contractors that you can then interview and determine who's going to work best for you with your roofing. And that's just one example.
Yeah, exactly. I think our CEO likes to sometimes say that we were called, I think, Kelsey, correct me if I'm wrong, something like, could you help me find concert tickets for something? There was some concert that they wanted to go to.
And like a concierge.
Yeah, like a concierge. I think we did our best to help. So yeah, all good. So, but yeah, so from various serious situations to other more fun situations. So thank you, Teresa, for that. Kelsey, we go to our third topic, which is about webinars that we're planning for OEB members. Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, webinars. So Teresa, thank you again so much. Some of you, I think it was in October, Teresa sent a link for a survey around all the different webinar topics that Canopy provides. So Teresa, thank you again for that. And then thank you everyone on this call that filled out that survey. It's super helpful for us. Again, it just kind of dials in what topics are really going to be most applicable to you all and to your coworkers, because that's what we're here for. We want to provide relevant content, right? And we want to support you all. So I won't necessarily go over every single topic by any means, but I do want to highlight some of the highest rated topics that people were interested in to give you an idea of what the calendar will look like for 2025 for the different webinars that we offer. Of course, these webinars are going to be free for employees to attend. So just to highlight kind of some of the highest rated topics that people were interested in, things like conquering the winter blues. So that's going to be one of the first things that we're going to be offering. Resilience, burnout, stress management, work-life balance, whole body health. So quite a variety of things that we'll be able to provide, and we'll do what we can to match them with OEB's calendar. If anyone is interested, Teresa, I can definitely share the survey results with you, and you can send them out if people are interested. Otherwise, you'll be seeing probably an email from us at Canopy here pretty soon with the calendar and some registration links.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see the calendar when it's ready, and I can we can probably post that too. And I can send that out with the next meeting reminder, which won't be until February. Will any of the webinars be offered before then? I imagine so.
I don't know. You said you'll send yours in February.
No, the next OEB champion meeting after this one is in February.
I mean, you could, yeah, either way. You know, we can, and if you want to send it with the agenda in February, you could, or if you want to send a separate email just as soon as it's ready, then you could.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see the calendar. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for your input on that. So yeah, we're looking forward to providing some useful trainings, and we'll have different times of the day that those are offered, and those will be recorded. So if those folks that can't attend can watch the recording, but we'll have like a lunchtime slot and then an after the classroom time slot. So anything else, Teresa, any other questions or things you want us to highlight?
I'll put that out to the group, the folks for whom this is brand new information. Completely different EAP company, vendor, and we think it's a pretty darn good one. So what kind of questions, if any, do folks have about what's available to you?
I'm not sure if this was mentioned, but just as a reminder as well, that Canopy is a confidential benefit. So, you know, your HR or your supervisor won't know if you or a family member is accessing.
Thank you for that, Kelsey. This is actually a topic of conversation that we had recently with Canopy, thinking about the kinds of about folks who might be nervous about and thinking about changes in federal regulation and federal policy that may be coming up, folks who might be undocumented, folks for whom, for whatever reason, you know, might be feeling under some stress. Canopy does not report your call, your text, your outreach. They do not compile a report of here's who called, from what entity, from what department, from what part of the state. It doesn't go to your employer. It doesn't go to HR. It doesn't come to OEB. They don't make any kind of a federal report to any agency. You can feel very comfortable that when you reach out to Canopy, your conversations and the fact that you reached them stays confidential.
And it's also all free for you because OEB is paying for it. So that is a really nice piece of it.
The entities, well. Their district, yeah. Exactly.
It's no cost to the member.
Right.
Yes, thank
you. That's the phrase we like to use because nothing's free, but it is no cost to the member.
well put. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kelsey and Umberto. Really appreciate that. And again, those slides will be posted to the OEB Champion website. I wanted to circle back really quickly to Rachel's opening and the organization that she mentioned. Rachel, I think, did you say you were going to put their website in the chat? I had made a note in the chat that the Teaching Well, there was going to be someone from that organization speaking at the February meeting, the OEBB champion meeting. But if folks wanted to reach out and just kind of see what the Teaching Well is all about, you can check out their website.
Yes, I will put it in the chat. Yeah, that's great. Do you know who's coming to speak in February?
Yes, I do. Let me pull it up here. It is, I had spoken to Lindsay Fuller, and then she connected me with Selena May.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's who spoke at Journey to Wellness for us this year, and she was great.
Yeah.
Rachel, is that available for anyone to access, Rachel, the wellness site?
Yes. Anyone can reach out to the Teaching Well. The Digital Mindful Toolkit, I'll just link that directly as well. I think you can get some of the free video or some videos for free. But the toolkit itself is something that you have to pay for to have access to. Yeah, the full toolkit.
It's great to know about.
Yeah, definitely.
The other topic that I kind of have my fingers crossed because I can't promise anything is at the February 6th meeting is being able to share with folks the results of the OEBB Wellbeing Survey that was fielded earlier this year. We're right in the thick of analyzing the data, or our vendor is analyzing the data for us and putting together the presentation and the display platform that we can share with folks so they can locate their school district or their ESD area and kind of look at the different responses that their members shared with us on that survey. So that's coming up hopefully in February, if not February, then in April. Are there any questions from any of our school wellness champions today? And not necessarily about the topics that we covered today. Are there other questions about anything wellness or health related? I am not seeing any hands or any more chat. Oh, someone's AI note taker put takeaways in the meeting from the meeting in the chat. Thank you. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful December and some nice time off at the end of the year, and you stay warm and safe and connected. And if there's any questions, you want to reach out to any of us, please feel free. We are here to help. We're here to answer your questions. We're here to promote and support well-being. So thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.
Bye.